This is the Oakwyn Podcast, featuring Morgan Brown and Michael Yu.
Welcome to the Oakwyn Podcast. I'm your host, Michael Yu.
And I'm Morgan Brown.
And I'm the Podfather.
Hello, everyone.
We're just talking about
Hi.
Morgan was talking about something very exciting. She was talking about mattresses.
Yeah, because I went mattress shopping.
Okay.
To get a new
water bed?
king-size bed.
Oh.
A water bed. I used to have one of those.
Did you have a water
What?
bed?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, people that had the water beds were really weird.
No, I mean, like, when I was, like, probably, I want to say 8 to, like, 13, I had a water bed.
8 to...
When it's most important.
You know, like, I would
I
get...
was thinking my son at
Yeah.
8 to 13 be like, Mom, don't come in my room.
Yeah. I get seasick on water. I would just...
Imagine if you're sick and then you're like on your sleeping on your water bed and you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Maybe that's when I got rid of it, when I started drinking, you know. It was like, you know, I can't do this anymore.
That's right.
That's
Well, I went, okay, first of all, let me just tell you something.
You think that's good for love making? Between two married individuals.
I would assume so. I think that was
be.
the whole deal behind
I
it.
think you need some. Anyways.
You need some stuff.
Yeah, you need some like.
I've actually had this conversation with Mike before. It's very funny.
Really?
I feel like, or no, it was Alf. I
Okay,
don't know.
so you're buying mattresses.
Okay, first of all, can I just say something? Has anyone been to a sleep country lately? Because I have.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
No.
And you go in. Okay, let me just tell you how they work. Because you
Okay.
wonder, why are there so many mattresses there?
Right.
Like to feel out. So now in a modern day sleep country,
Okay.
you go in and to the right, or like to the whole place, it goes in like not firm, medium, and then firm.
Okay.
And the same brand. 1, 2, 3.
Mhm.
1, 2, 3, all the way around the whole thing.
Okay.
And you're supposed to go. First of all, you're not allowed to just jump on them anymore after
Really?
COVID. You have to take this you have to take this like sheet
Okay.
and put the sheet down and then lie on it.
It's like a giant toilet seat cover, basically.
Oh, really? Did you feel like a piece of meat, like on a butcher paper?
Sean had to go and try, so diligent of him.
Yeah.
Had to go and try every one of these mattresses. I was like, okay, let's like figure out price point here. What's going to be the cheapest, medium, and high? And of course, and then there's now the new roll-up mattresses.
Yeah, the foam
the
ones,
foam
right?
ones
Like
that
memory
just come
foam.
to your door.
Yeah.
It's so random.
What are those, like Casper or something
Casper,
like that?
Casper,
purple.
ND.
ND.
We have
Oh,
an
yeah.
ND. It's
Oh, you
the
do? Oh,
best
yeah.
match to
Oh,
ever
really?
have.
ND. Yeah. Okay, and then so everyone has like different things. I just can't get through my head the ones that come to your door. Like I
In a
just
roll?
can't. The roll-up ones. I just get. I don't know what it is. I think I need like springs. Like part of me is like, okay, I got the spring. So
You don't let go of that spring mindset. Just get it out of your head.
Really?
Spring
Can you
mindset.
jump? Like, is it bouncy? The
It's a
foam mattress?
foam.
It's not bouncy. So you can't jump on the bed.
it's not bouncy.
I mean, if you have kids, they're gonna jump on the bed.
Okay,
regardless.
yes,
But
yeah.
it's not very bouncy.
Right.
Yeah.
No, yeah, like the whole point of the foam is that if you roll off, they don't feel it. Like you know what I mean?
Okay.
If you roll off, they don't feel it.
It's like the bowling ball. You see those mattress commercials with the bowling ball?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like,
Yeah,
it's like
just like
stay
that.
out. It's like stay.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, I of course have a very my husband's like, which one is the one that everyone wants? Like it's like so quick. And so we got first of all, king size beds. I've never had a king size bed.
Yeah.
It's a game changer.
Really?
Like in bed. Like I don't even first of all, a lot of freedom. Okay.
Okay.
Like this. But I'm the type of person that I'm like a pretzel. I have to like start with him and then I just slowly disappear.
Okay.
And now that I don't have the kid in the bed, we have so much space. But I just thought that foam mattress thing is funny because I think they're targeting.
They don't
me.
look like mattresses because I can see I can visualize them like just a giant like Toblerone thing coming to your house, just be like, this is your mattress. And like, this doesn't. I'm used to like lugging a mattress, with both hands, like losing grip, and then like twisting it away up the stairs. But then like this thing
so
looks
true.
like a big
Yeah.
paper towel inside. Yeah.
You don't. And also like you have to like open it up and then let it just like kind of breathe. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's been
Yeah, it takes like a
suctioned.
day or
Oh, really?
Yeah.
one to a day to a day and a half to like
To like mutate to a mattress.
Yeah, to unmutate. I guess.
Yeah, okay.
unswish.
And there's another mattress called the Silk mattress, which is all organic, all like no toxic stuff in it. And then my friend Alf,
Yeah.
there's another mattress. Did he tell you about his mattress? There's this mattress that it's like a Chinese mattress.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
it lasts for like
Okay.
ever.
Never buy that mattress.
We bought it.
Literally, it's literally like a slab of concrete you sleep on. Like only unfeeling Chinese kids can use
You know
that
what's
mattress.
funny? Okay, this is our CFO. He said to me, Morgan, it's like I had one when I was a kid and then I didn't have
Yeah.
one. And then he says,
It's about that mattress
ever
is for.
since I got my mattress
Yeah.
back, I have slept so well. That's what he
Oh,
said
yeah?
to me.
Well, like
it called?
okay,
Silk
I
or
think
like-
it's for like, so it's called a seahorse mattress. It's literally it's like a slab of concrete. It is so firm that like I think it's meant for like Asian kids to form their discipline. Like it's like the same as when you'd get in a prison. Like, I'm like I can't sleep on this mattress. This thing is like like sleeping on a park bench.
So true. I'm like a mid to firm mattress person.
Okay.
I like firm mattresses.
I can see that because you
Yeah.
have like little softness or
I have little-
in your
No, I just
personality.
like a little. I don't like a soft mattress. It's just like you feel your back hurts. I think I'm getting old.
Yeah,
But-
it's weird. Like
What's your? Is it medium? You're gonna-
I don't know. Like so because I've had the same mattress for a long time. Like,
how long?
Oh, very long. So like probably like 15 years I've had the same mattress.
It's time to get a new mattress.
I can't. So like, but I did buy. So that's something that I don't skimp on. I don't skimp on cell phones.
Yes.
I don't skimp on mattresses. And I don't skip on mattresses,
Homes.
cell phones. And homes. Yeah.
We're the same person.
Yeah.
Mike and I are the same. Like cell phones, mattresses, actually linens for your mattress.
Yeah, linens are
Super
linens are
important.
important
'Cause you,
because
like,
like
are
you're
on
spending
it.
so much time on that thing. Like you
Yeah.
better spoil yourself there.
Basically, Mike and I are thinking about all of our time and whatever is the longest things, like our
Yeah.
phone, our house,
Car.
and our cars.
Yeah.
Then
Then you
want to
like just that's something that's worthwhile because you're gonna
Yeah,
use it a lot,
agreed.
right? So yeah, so I bought like a very primo mattress, but Pre's been trying to convince me to like
get a new mattress.
get a new one so that all the like the ghosts of the Christmas ex-girlfriends all like flutter like who's been on
makes
this
sense,
bed?
actually.
I'm like nobody. No one
Just
at all.
you,
Just
babe.
me.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
it. Do you call her babe? What do you call her?
I
Pre.
hate nicknames. I hate nicknames.
This is like coming
Hate
from the
'em, eh?
king of nicknames.
Wow.
He nicknames
Yeah.
everybody.
I like giving nicknames to like
He
friends.
no, Priya calls you Mikey. Okay, that's
Yeah.
a nickname.
I
Yeah.
guess that's a nickname. I hate Babe though.
Yeah, I call
Babe.
Sean babe all the time.
I know it annoys me. And like I was
Babe.
yeah,
And now my son just said, "Hey, babe, can you give me a water?" He
To
called
Sean?
babe.
That's so awesome.
And then Sean calls me MB. Sometimes he's like MB, and he's like, "Mom's
doesn't
like,
he call you mistress? Yes, mistress.
hey, mistress." That would be good. That might spice it up.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do that. That's a good idea.
You gotta keep it alive after
Gotta
that.
keep it
long.
alive. You gotta keep it alive, baby. So funny. Oh
It
my
has been a
god.
while for you guys.
Speaking of my mattress, I feel like back to my mattress. The purple one is rubber.
I don't know about the king. Like, so Pri was trying to convince me. I don't know if we talked about
king.
it before. Like the king, I feel like you lose all intimacy at a king.
You do lose a lot of some intimacy.
Yeah, don't
do.
you?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I have a king now. I don't know if it's just like me being exhausted because of the babies.
Yeah.
But I would say you do lose not like intimacy. If you're not like a person to touch the person like cuddle on the couch during the time you're with them,
Yeah.
then you should just have a queen. Because like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So like if your intimacy time is in the bed,
Right.
then you should just like stick to a queen. But if like Sean and I, we hold hands when we go for walks and we hug each other on the couch, we cuddle when we watch TV. So like I was like, it's still like pretty good lot of time there.
Listen, you were
I feel like
justifying this
for
thing
me, like I don't want Pri getting away, like to any way of like escaping. so like like the bigger the surface area, it's like a forced constraint. Like she can't hide.
Yeah. She can hide too.
Yeah, she would.
Just so you know, there's no way.
Yeah, I know. I'm like in your face.
There's no way of hiding from Mike.
Yeah.
But we were on our way, and there was lots of traffic because the convoy.
Great segue, Morgan.
That was smooth, very smooth. Wait, here? There's one here?
Well, yeah, there was like a Burrard Street convoy thing. It was like very annoying, actually. Because, not to say it's annoying, guys. If you believe in it, I totally get it. Should we talk about the convoy, the truck convoy?
Sure, yeah, we can talk about it. Well, it's
so
kind
what
of
is
like
it, Mike? Tell everybody what the
it's now
Freedom
like
Convoy
it's almost
is.
like a history lesson now because obviously it's ended. So obviously post. So obviously a lot of truckers the U.S. and Canada put in a law in place where they'd have to prove vaccination to go cross borders through truckers, and so obviously that was something that the trucking community and a lot of other people didn't feel was legal or right. So they conducted a protest where they did a convoy, and a convoy is basically like it's kind of like in those parties. What is that thing like? You hold each other's shoulders, conga line. But it was more. It wasn't a. It was like a conga line of trucks, and basically they traveled all the way from BC. I think they started in Delta, was it? Or they started.
You could have also just called it a parade.
Or a parade, but they basically not to make light of it, but they basically traveled all the way from BC, picked up momentum all the way across Canada, and landed. In Ottawa, in the Parliament Hill area where they do their C-SPAN stuff. Yeah, so then they congregated there for a long time. They were there for over 3 weeks until obviously the government stepped in and kind of dispersed everyone. And that was and they were trying to make a point to relieve mandates and obviously relieve the mandate for the cross-border travel.
Cross-border travel, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's kind of good. I mean, I just saw a couple of them. They were screaming at me. Yeah, Canada. I think the problem is like using the Canadian flag for that was really tough for me to watch. Right?
Me too. Yeah.
Right. I was like, not to say you're ruining it, but it's like just.
They usurped it.
Exactly. It's like I don't know. And the conversations that I've had this weekend, because since I've been home and like people just stomping by. I had like Robin over at and they're like everyone's discussion's the same. Like I just wish that they didn't use the Canadian flag for it. Mm-hmm. So that was like the biggest thing. But I really didn't really watch a lot of. I've been so busy with work that I haven't really watched it.
Well,
I feel bad.
Being on the West Coast, we're a bit detached because it was really pronounced in Ontario and in Parliament Hill. But yeah, it was all over the news, and it actually incited a lot of other protests in other countries, and it was kind of gaining quite a bit of momentum.
Whoa!
Lots of, it's hard to kind of surmise it in a short period of time, but I think ultimately, it has dispersed now. I think they proved their point about what they, of what they wanted to accomplish, and a lot of people. To disperse the convoy, or to disperse they kind of occupied Parliament Hill. To disperse that, the government
used
for the first time, for the first time, I think since for the first time, I think in history, was it in history? Enforced the Emergencies Act, which I actually,
Ooh, that's I read something about that. I read that they didn't even do it during World War I and II. They didn't even use it.
Yeah, I think it might have been granted after World War II, like as, a way that the government could, in a case of World War III or another major crisis, be able to enact. So the Emergency Act creates the ability for the federal government to freeze bank accounts specifically to, for people that have supported these kind of protests and things like that, and also to special powers for the police to be able to be a bit more forceful in kind of dispersing this protest. So
Did they freeze anyone's bank accounts?
Yeah, they froze a lot of people's bank accounts.
Oh my God.
Yeah, which.
Yeah, like because of the.
How did I not know this whole stuff? I mean,
well, the people that contributed to that was the kind of the for me, that was kind of the questionable thing about the whole thing was
Yeah.
like the government wouldn't have even known who contributed to the GoFundMe campaigns if it didn't get leaked. It got hacked and leaked,
Yeah.
and then yeah, they started freezing, Joe Blow from like Campbell River's bank account,
Yeah.
and this person from like these random people that
Really?
contributed like 25.
Yeah,
bucks
so
here
they
and there.
were they froze all their accounts, so they couldn't pay their bills and a lot of other things. So like I feel like
Oh, they're
that
not
was
gonna want to like live in this country if that's the case.
yeah, that was that to me, this is my opinion. This is not the opinion of Oakwyn Realty or any of its subsidiaries.
That's right. Thanks for the disclaimer. Thanks for the disclaimer right there.
But I think that was overstepping some boundaries. That specific thing, I think the police need to be empowered to do their job. But at the
Yeah.
same time, it's so hard to, it's really hard to kind of know what media to trust. You go to, the CBC and CTV, and then you go on all these different types of media, and then they're telling almost different stories. Like one side saying that it's a completely peaceful protest. The other side is saying it's like filled with racial slurs and
Whoa,
you
I know,
elements
I know.
of right-wing white supremacy type of stuff. And it's like the same stories and the same imagery kind of coming from both sides. So it's there's it was a very interesting time, and just it's a good time to kind of reflect on the impacts that it's going to have on Canada and that's
Exactly.
kind of where we're thinking about
That we're talking about today.
talk about today and
Well, that sounds good. Stay tuned, guys. I feel like the post Convoy. So first of all, let's talk about the market rate. The market is very busy,
yeah.
but it's slow.
And how does this affect the real estate market?
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the real estate market in
Right.
general. But I would say like we as realtors, what I've been watching for in the last couple months, it's been tough. It's been tough for a lot of people because there's very little inventory out there.
Right.
There's a lot of purchasers that are trying to take advantage of the rate, the current specific rate, as the rate will rise, and that's
Yep.
what the conversation is. They said it's going to be like what people are saying is it's supposed to be risen like 9 times over in the next year, which is crazy. That's what people have said. Inflation, which is huge, and then of course immigration, that's going to be happening, hopefully
Yeah.
coming back over to Vancouver.
Yeah. So let's touch on like supply.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
first, I think the major impact to the market is supply.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, we're at 30-year lows for supply of listings on the market right now in Greater Vancouver, which means that there's less options for buyers to purchase properties, and demand hasn't changed
At all.
at all. In fact, it probably is kind of being ramped up based on some of the other factors that are happening in the market. So yeah, but it's kind of like I've never seen as few listings as I am now. I have now in 15 years in the business. I've never seen like normally even in like kind of transitionary markets and other different types of where there's always like 5 or 6 listings.
Yes.
There's like 1 or 0
Yeah.
now. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of people are trying to look outwards. Like, first of all, like, how are people staying tuned with other stuff that's coming out? Like, I think a lot of listings are not coming out because the sellers don't know where to go. This is the problem, right?
Yeah,
They're
so
afraid.
Obviously, so when we're, our the consumer right now, because of the lack of travel and stuff like that, is basically a local market. So we're talking about, local BC residents like that have investment properties, but also just residing in their own residences. So, a certain great proportion of properties, buyers and sellers are, wanting to transition, and they're really having that fear about, what are they going to transition into?
Right.
Like I've had this conversation many times, and I've actually advised a lot of clients.
What have you been advising them?
Well, in my like 15-year history, I've never advised clients to buy before they sell, except now. This is the first time.
Yeah, like I've always said, like, sell your old car before you buy a new one.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, buy something, find something you like, and we'll sell your place no problem.
Yeah, it's hard to say you'll sell it no problem because I'm
in Detached on the east side.
Yeah,
it's gonna sell.
Yeah, it's most likely to sell, but you want to be careful on how you language that with your clients because you want to prepare them. So
what I actually do now though is I tell them to sell, like I actually do tell them to still sell, but I give them like a really big clause, which you can all find on your web forms, basically giving them the right to extend or for 30 days, right? And do like a pretty big piece. And I find that's what helps.
Yeah, the long close. So giving sellers, because sellers are really in the driver's seat right now. So like obviously giving them a long close is one option, so that they have ample time to be able to secure a property. But like there's always that fear as they're waiting, the months, because I've seen the market tick up quite a bit month to month. That they're gonna actually like be spending more as time kind of flows through. So like I've been pretty cautious about how I'm advising clients right now in this marketplace. So basically what I've been doing is trying to secure property. If we secure the property,
are you not normally cautious?
I'm always cautious.
Yeah, like I feel like you're normally cautious.
Yeah. So but basically we secure a property, but we have bridge financing kind of before we write an offer on anything. We've secured bridge financing for their say, like just in case I can't sell their place in time.
Yeah.
And worst case scenario that they can hold both properties if the market really kind of changes drastically. So, that's kind of something that we've been talking to clients that are trying to upsize or downsize, and it's worked out well. And we've had a few that they've already bought and now are selling their places, and their places are selling at a good clip. So, yeah.
I think it's good. I think it's great. I think you as an agent, you have the duty to make sure that you give, number one, give them some resources to speak to, especially as like a mortgage broker and an accountant, because I think that's so important during a time like this. People can make mistakes. People are really out there to either overextend themselves or they just don't know what they're getting themselves into. So it's important for you as an agent to give them all of those resources and then make sure that they make their decision with all the facts in head, right? But I mean, I feel like right now for our clients, I'm dealing with a lot of families. So it's a lot of different, they're all upsizing to kind of like the children are just like getting to 2 and they're like wanting to move into another house or whatever it is. But there's just not many homes. Like we have very limited amount of land anymore, it feels like. And the pre-sale stuff with the tax is still so high, like paying another 5% GST is not what people really want to pay, right? But more and more, what I think is going to happen is I think more people are going to be buying into pre-sale again, and as the inventory is still so low, right? Do you think our interest rates? It's like let's talk about the interest rates. Like you see that the interest rates are coming up. They're going to come up. A lot of people are in that variable rate. They've either in the last 3 years overextended themselves or have gone into bigger mortgages.
Right.
Do you think that that's going to make a huge impact to our real estate market?
I think certainly, of course, like the cost of money is relatively inexpensive right now to borrow and to kind of leverage. So obviously as that cost increases, it might have some impacts on the market. Without being too real estate guy sounding. I don't want to be like, this guy's a biased real estate guy. He doesn't know it's a bubble. Like, so, there's a relationship between rising interest rates and, and we talked about this, Morgan touched on it, rising inflation. So like as inflation, the value of money is adjusted. You look at the relationship between inflation and your interest rate. And if the inflation is higher than your interest rate, it's actually a smart idea to leverage more to kind of which is heating up the market even more.
Yes.
Because basically the cost of borrowing is less than the inflation amount, which is the devaluing of the dollar, right? So it's interesting that as you're seeing this. If you're seeing a relationship between interest rates rising and then inflation also rising at the same time, you almost kind of think that people are still going to borrow.
Yeah.
in most cases. But, that being said, it does have rising interest rates does have impacts on affordability for a lot of families and stuff like that. So, might be a good conversation to have with people that are happy in their residences to think about fixing their mortgages as I'm a variable guy for the most part. So
some people do a variable fix now. That's
closed variable. Yeah.
But also like they can do half from what Lauren from Scotiabank has said to me.
Mm-hmm.
Half. But anyways, I think that you should definitely speak to your mortgage specialist to see what the best route is for you, right? Everyone has their own budgets and everything.
Totally. Yeah.
Post Convoy, I feel like everyone is back out working again. I went to the Bayshore for my friend's birthday on Saturday, and it was packed in there. It was like everyone was back out, and no one was wearing masks. It was like great.
Mm-hmm.
I was like living my best life.
I think there is it. I feel like we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel in this case, because the healthcare system is really adapted. Like these people are just like the heroes of this whole pandemic. They've really
overworked.
Yeah, so they've really put in the right precautions, making it like the hospital capacities have been so much better. So I hope that kind of trend continues with what's happening, and so we're seeing a lot of things opening back up again, full capacity now in restaurants and hockey games. And
oh my gosh, hockey games!
Yeah,
the hockey games. It just doesn't make any sense right now with the masks, because they let us go to hockey games, take off your mask when you're sitting down, but then you're not allowed to go into an elevator with somebody. I'm like, isn't it the same thing? You're right next to somebody else. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I
like buildings. I sell a lot downtown.
Right.
I'm in a mask a lot because I'm showing in and out of condos, and there's tons of people there. There's tons of people in condominiums. So it doesn't make any sense to me. But I get it. People, do what you got to do. If the building says you put a mask on, put a mask on. But I just also am like, okay. I just sat across from a person right there at a sushi restaurant. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. I feel like it's, a part of it is your level of comfort, with it, and I think it might,
comfort.
There's, we got to respect the rules and stuff like that. If a place says wear your mask, just wear it. Like, it's not a big deal.
Just wear the mask.
Yeah. It's not a big deal. But
it's the ones that are like, I don't need to wear a mask. I'm like, where have you been for the last 2 years?
Yeah.
Put your mask on.
Yeah.
This grocery store.
Yeah. When I think sometimes the frustration boils over for some people, and they kind of need an outlet. And so then
they want to, that's what happens.
Yeah. They're like looking for conflict.
Yes. The people are like, come on, fight me.
Yeah. Have you ever felt that way before about anything?
No. I'm very peaceful monk type. Actually, I saw something the other day that was really mean to somebody, and I was almost about to. That's when I get upset, when I hear someone just talking very mean to another person. It's just not nice. Like, I'm like, who taught you your manner? Like, this person was bossing this person around. This is just totally off, not topic.
Okay.
But you just like bossing and just putting this person down. Like, I would like that now. Her tone.
So pretty demeaning.
And I just thought to myself, I could get mad at this person right now. But then I was like, I'm not getting involved. I'm not taking it personal. I can't get involved with this. But it was mean. And the person felt like, you could tell she she felt like kind of abused.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? That's what makes me mad.
Yeah.
I don't like that type of thing.
Yeah.
I've never.
So everyone has their triggers, I think.
She doesn't like anyone telling her what to do.
She doesn't like anyone telling her what to do, but if she sees an animal getting like a pet, like a dog or something like that, a little bit of mistreatment, she has to Mike, pull over. You see how he was handling that dog? I'm like, no, we're just gonna keep going.
That's the worst though.
Yeah.
When you see a dog.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so. She should work. So my girlfriend just started working for it's like a shelter for Afghan dogs, and they brought all the Afghani dogs over from everything, and there was 180 dogs, and so she's been with cats and dogs every single day.
Really? Like,
Alicia.
should she foster them? Or?
No, she just goes and walks them and holds them, and it's like a community there. It's fantastic, right in Richmond.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I should tell her, but she'd probably love that. But you can just walk your dogs and walk around and, whatever. But she's like, she's the same. She's like, do you see someone just pulling that dog too hard? I'm like, he was being a little pisshead. So grab that dog.
I guess we're like, because we're cat people. So like, you don't really, you handle a cat is different than handling a dog.
It's true. The dogs are like stubborn, right? Yeah. And they're like bigger. So you kind of have to man them. The worst are the worst are the owners that let the dog run them. And they're like, this is just something that happened to me recently. This guy, he was like, I don't know, in the lineup or just coming through this, I don't know where we were, but he had like a little puppy dog on, like a little chow wow on on a line, and he kept on like going around, getting in everyone's way. I'm like, control your dog. Your dog is
the dog's just out taking him for a walk.
Yeah,
right?
But the dog's this big. It's the size of a Pikachu. Like, I mean, not a Pikachu.
It's like a Napoleon complex type of thing.
Yeah, right? He's like, oh, the doggy. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's like I've seen like those. There was an agent in my old office. She used to bring her dog around in a carrier all the time.
Oh my!
I was always kind of like, that's weird.
I love it. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. I think so. I mean, what are you going to be doing? What are you telling your clients right now post Convoy when they're saying to you, Mike, is this a good time to sell right now?
Yeah, it just depends on what. So I think that, so a couple things. So there's a lot of pressure to increase supply with a lot of the governments right now. So like, every municipality is talking about increasing supply to help to correct the market and help to add more density. So I actually think that if somebody is trying to upsize into a detached residence, I feel like it's such a smart idea to do right now.
Smart idea.
To just, get into the detached market, because obviously as the rise of condos and townhouses are happening, and they're being absorbed too. Like they're, that market is still good, but it's a shrinking supply of detached residences. So like, I feel like, in 10 years or 20 years, there's going to be several hundred less, or maybe even 1,000 less detached residences than there are now. So that's something that will happen for sure.
100%.
So, just trying to like forecast it in the future, it is a smart idea to kind of consider making that option. So like we've had a couple clients that we've told them to, they would have 3 or 4 condos as in their portfolio, to sell all those and then buy a house instead.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So like, you just want to provide like really solid and good advice to them if it's the right fit. And, but it's always kind of positioning it like it's your choice, whatever you feel comfortable with. But like, this is what we're seeing, and, macro, economics wise, like this might be something that we want to partake in. So like,
Lovely.
I always think it's a good time to buy real, like, this is the real estate guy talking, but I always think it's a good time to buy real estate. I think there's no better vehicle for wealth creation and the whole, that you can put your money. If you're going to put your money somewhere,
put it in something like real estate.
Yeah, you can put it in real estate, or you can put it in, what else are you going to put it in? You can put it in, I guess you can put it in stocks. And
don't keep it in the bank though.
Yeah, just don't.
Because you guess what's going to happen? It's just going to be worth nothing.
Right. Yeah. So you don't.
Sorry, guys. It's just going to be worth nothing. Put your money somewhere else.
Yeah. So like, you want to place it in an asset, versus putting it just, letting it sit at the bank. So yeah.
I love it. I mean, I think that there's lots of opportunity.
What are you telling your clients?
I'm telling my clients to sell, baby. Sell. Today, actually, I think there's a lot of business being done off MLS. That's what I've noticed.
Okay.
Like, some of these chats I'm in with other agents, like they're selling to one another. And I'm like, what? And it's not even on market. And I'm like, this is great. So what I've been doing actually is going back to my last 4 or 5 years of expired that I kind of took off. And they're like, we're going to wait for a bit. Going back to them and saying like, let's just try and sell it now. So that's like number one. And the ones that during like right before COVID or right after COVID, they tried to sell and they couldn't because of COVID.
Yeah.
So now I feel like it's their time. It's their time to go. So I've been reaching out to them a lot.
Very smart. Yeah.
And I've been also really, geez, guys, like this Oakwyn pre-sale advantage, I'm pushing it on my team to get it in their head to really to use as another funnel, another
revenue stream,
right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, we have some incredible realtors at our office that do these projects. Mike's one of them. That have these big complexes coming up soon, and you want to be in front of the line if you can. So that's what I've been trying to get my clients to do, is just kind of maybe bring their money and put their money into other things as well.
Yeah, I think it's smart to, put it into assets, something that has, some opportunity to grow in the future. And what's really awesome about real estate is that the ability to leverage, right? So like, if you are okay to take the risk,
leverage,
then it's, basically you put $1 in and you get $5 of value in a lot of cases, right? So like it's something that is really rare and unique about real estate compared to stocks and other things like that. So so I really am a, obviously
believer in
real
it.
estate podcast.
But he also practices it in his personal and his professional life.
Yeah, for sure.
He's a very good investor. I trust him.
Right,
Mike?
Well, we're like, so Morgan and I invest together as well. So
I just let him take the reins.
I was like, is this good? I'm like,
that's smart.
He doesn't always like, he's like, how do you feel about this? I'm like, good.
Well, I try to look at it a 360 angle of like when I look at an investment, I'm like looking at the numbers, I'm looking at where it's looking at going, but also like, people around you have their own opinions, but also like if you trust them, they have their talents and strengths as well.
True.
So like, so for example, like we're thinking about buying a building in, in New Westminster. So I was like, if Morgan goes there and doesn't like it, we're not buying this place. Like, so.
I actually like it.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But if you didn't like it, then we wouldn't buy it, because like it's not like a. You got to trust the people that are around you, and
I feel like we're lucky, the three of us together, because we do lucky things together. Like we have a very good triangle team.
Yeah.
So yes, I feel like if one of us is off, it's always a bad move.
Yeah, it's like never do it. Like if
just
someone feels not good about it and the other two feel good about it, then
there's
we're like,
a
okay,
reason for it. We don't know what it is,
Yeah.
but we might regret it one day, but might not.
Yeah.
Blame the other for it.
Exactly. So it's good to kind of triangulate your position as well. So when in talking about the times right now with the market, it's so there's like Morgan was saying, if you're talking to your clients about selling, it is the highest time to ever sell a property. You're gonna make the most
amount.
You're gonna make the most that you've ever done in the history of the market. So like maybe it is, if a client is thinking about exiting the market, it is a great time to do so. And then some people like to exit and re-enter. My philosophy is to always be into it. So but everyone's different.
Well, I feel like this is a very good podcast based off of just what I think people are getting a little bit. It's interesting. My morning meeting with my team, it was very lackluster today. It was very.
Oh, really? Why?
It was like really. It was like the energy's not there. I think they're really getting sick of being defeated. Like, you know what I mean? Like they've been beat. I'm feeling great.
Is that why you're all wearing black today?
I'm wearing black because I've got a cool. Do I look like Johnny Cash?
Yeah, you look like Catwoman.
I'm wearing leather pants, guys.
Oh yeah.
I have an interview with an agent after this. I'm so excited.
Oh really?
To get a new realtor.
Okay.
I love realtors. And my dad keeps on power calling me, so I'm worried, actually.
Okay.
But anyways, guys,
okay, guys, on that note, Bo Brown is more important than this podcast. Okay. Thank you guys for listening to the Oakwyn podcast. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please rate it on your podcast platform you're listening to it on. 5 out of 5. And write us a review. We love
reviews.
I saw a review by Theo and by a couple
Theo.
other agents or listeners, and yeah, they're really fun. So please write us a review, and if you're interested in learning more about Oakwyn, go to oakwyn.com/join. Type into the message box Evolve 2022, and you'll get a free piece of mystery swag.
Thanks,
okay, guys, see you next time. Bye.